Happy Pi Day.
Yes.
The show dropping on the 14th of March.
3.14.
3.14, as opposed to when we're recording the show, 3.13. When you say, oh, it's Pi Day today. Someone posted it on, say, Facebook. Yeah, a day early.
I know.
Because I was like, no, pi is not 3.13. It's 3.14.
And then a bazillion never-ending numbers after that. Correct?
Yeah,
it's
that's
a never-ending
true.
number.
But you also know what today is, right? See, you didn't get to experience this as a child, and you missed out so much on this glorious thing. If you're watching on the podcast right now, you missed out on the glory of the TV cart rolling into the classroom on the Friday, the second Friday of March every year. Now it's Thursday that the quarterfinals, of course, the tournament, the ACC tournament, underway on Tuesday now, which eventually is going to be Monday next year, I think. They're just going to play it all week because now we're going to have teams, Stanford and Cal coming in. It's a whole different world. But you missed out on the glory that was the TV cart coming in this time of year, every year in Ohio.
Yeah, no, we did not. The Big Ten conference
didn't have a conference tournament back then, by the way.
Oh.
They were still regulars. They were the last to go to a conference. Them in the Pac-10. But the Big Ten didn't have a conference tournament. So there was that part. But you missed out on all that glorious. You missed out on things like this.
This is ACC basketball with Clemson, Duke, Georgia Tech, Maryland, North Carolina, North Carolina State, Virginia, and Wake Forest. This live coverage is brought to you by Natural Light, by the Jefferson Pilot Corporation, by Piedmont Airlines, by Holiday Inn, by Mazda, by Belk and Leggett Stores, and by Central Fidelity Bank.
There's a lot of blast from the past right there, the stuff that does not exist. And I always wanted that. I wanted that neon sign. I wish we knew where that neon ACC sign was from 1980. That was from 1982.
I'm glad we don't know where it is.
Why? Because I'd have it right there. That'd be, yeah.
It'd be over there.
No, there are a lot of people. Yes, I am wearing my ACC T-shirt I got
That's
from
way
last
too big
year. It's
for
way
you.
too big in Greensboro because a year ago, I was in Greensboro covering the tournament, and a year ago is when I was, about this time, really regretting my food choices after having started Monjero on Monday.
Yes.
And then heading up and eating like you normally would eat when they feed you. And that was a mistake. So anyway. But see, you missed out on glorious things like this, too.
Sail with the pilot at the wheel on a ship sturdy from its mast to its keel. He guides through storm and wave, ensures you while you sail. Sail with the
I think we should go ahead and get started on the show.
No, you got to explain this stuff to people who have no idea what this is. So that
what
was
is it?
the Pilot Life Insurance Company. So that's from the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
That's like when I was like 4. I can remember those. And this is the glory that was of growing up here in the 70s and 80s. And that was what, you had 1 or 2 games on a week. And now every game's on your phone, which is even better. But that was the stuff you remember as a child, was that stuff. Now, granted, we talk about the ACC tournament and everybody getting to roll the carts in the classroom. I had the privilege, though, of not having to go to school that day. That was an off day. I got to stay home and watch it and listen to this voice in my ear.
Timeout on the floor. An official break in the action. And Carolina still leading by 5 in Greensboro.
Yes. Hey, Woody would be on because they did all the games on the radio. So we turned the sound down and listened to Woody and Jim Hevner and then Mick Mixon. And you learned that when you that first year of dating that was how your life was going to be, was that.
Welcome to my world.
Welcome to
folks.
Emily's world,
Welcome
folks.
to my world.
You will be. I probably should be happy to know I have not downloaded any of the betting apps. since they became legal on Monday here in North Carolina.
That's a good thing because we are not.
It's hard to not do it with the DraftKings, that $250 bonus that's in there, and bet on who's going to score first in games or who's.
We have the worst luck ever.
I know, that's why I don't do gambling. I can't do it. I am the worst sports gambler in the history of man. So, all right, that's okay. I will leave alone because next week will be the NCAA tournament. We get to relive going to Greensboro and all that stuff because we will talk about that next week. We guarantee it. All right, okay, let's start the show. That's the music from 1986 from Jefferson Pilot Sports, by the way. It is the Sam
And M
podcast, episode number 11 at samwalkerobxnews.com. Find us, of course, on all your favorite podcast apps, YouTube, Facebook. Like, follow, subscribe, hit the bell on the YouTube to know when we post shows, when we post all kinds of content, not just this show, but all the content we're generating. Share, and share alike, please.
Yes, thank
Share.
you to everybody because a lot of people do
Yeah,
share,
I know.
and we really do appreciate that.
Yeah, and that does make a huge difference in getting the show out to folks, and more people learn about it. So, 5-star reviews, those always, man. We've got a couple of them on the Apple Pie. Apple seems to be the only one that does the 5-star, and we know that's like, to me, it's not the most popular because I hate Apple, Droid guy, but everybody else seems to have the Apple.
So give us 5 stars.
5 stars. 5 stars. Speaking of my Droid, I need to turn the volume down since we told Alexa to mute, and then you said I've got a relationship with Alexa. What was that all about?
Because Alexa said, "Okay, Sam," and I was like, "When did you guys move on to the next stage
The
of
next
your
level?
relationship?" She's now calling you Sam.
All right, yes. We are sponsored by StatelinePowerWash.com. Parker and Smith Hammer serving the Outer Banks of northeastern North Carolina with over 140 5-star reviews on Google. March Madness special, a free gutter cleaning when you get your house and roof soft washed. StatelinePowerWash.com for that free estimate. Miles Carpet Cleaning, family owned and operated, offering top-of-the-line carpet and upholstery cleaning services in Currituck and on the Outer Banks with the $99 special. Forget the rest. Call the best right now at 252-207-6707 and like them on Facebook. And by Harlow Photography, your local natural light expert capturing the beauty of the Outer Banks, online at sharlowphotography.com. And I missed the post. And on Facebook, search Stephanie Harlow Photos. And I'm going to beat myself up for that, for missing
Move on.
Well, you know me. All right. So we'll get to shout-outs in a moment. It is the pollinating. The pollinating is fully underway.
Yes.
Although we aren't seeing the visible clouds of yellow like they do in South Carolina. Remember driving back from, what trip was that? Well, oh no, I remember. It wasn't you because you were flying. Last year, driving back from surprising you at the Princess half and driving through all of South Carolina in the late afternoon, and it's blowing about 25 out of the southwest, and all of I-95, the sky is just yellow from the pine pollen.
It's coming.
I know it's
It'll
coming.
be yellow here. I
but-
mean, it's yellow here, and you
Yeah.
walk out in the parking lot at work, and it's yellow
But
everywhere.
the pollen already here has
Yeah.
taken over.
I think did I see somewhere like the next 2 weeks is supposed to be one of the worst pollen
Yes,
that
it's
we've
always
had.
it always is. The tree pollen is blown up because I'm devouring the Claritin every day. So, but
That
you're
would
being
only
like
be
busy.
one a day, folks.
I said devouring it every day. It's like as soon as I get up, it's like I gotta have the Claritin. Give me my hit, man. Where's my hit, man? Which you've been getting deluged, I know, with this with at work.
Yeah, we're getting busy, and then people are getting some
Right.
sinus infections and stuff from it. It's starting to kick up. So yeah, for sure.
All right, so shout outs. You got some of the shout. You got most of the shout outs today. So I've got a couple I got they're video related. So, but go ahead.
I don't have any shout outs.
I thought that's what you were working on earlier. Oh no, you were working on the pre-show.
I was working on my.
Okay, well, thanks to everybody who has commented to us. We on the socials, but also commented to us face loving the podcast. Thanks so much. That's too numerous. I mean, we could give shout outs all day. And it's like every day we run into somebody who says, "Hey, love what you're doing. Got it today." What is it? The LRTMP meeting. Greg Schwarzenberg, who's down at Outer Banks Visitors Bureau, he said loves having the feed of stuff coming on the site, from the site, and getting in his email, being able to scan through it. And, he's got the news every hour, basically, news story. That's my goal right now, is getting one story an hour between 9 and 6. That's a lot of content.
That's a lot.
There's some days it won't be that much. And we're starting to get into the busy season here with the lacrosse and the pool cleaning and trying not to sit in front of the TV and watch, because like right now I am clicking over on YouTube TV to see what the score of the State Syracuse game is. Okay. I want to talk about Monday since the shout outs are going to be kind of short here. Shout out Justin, Outer Banks This Week podcast. They are talking Kelly St. Patrick's Day Parade, which is this coming Sunday. Talking about that. We are going to be guests on Justin's show in 2 weeks.
No,
yeah,
next week.
Next week. Is it Tuesday? Okay, it is this coming Tuesday. And looking forward to that. Looking forward to going to see Gino Say down at the Lost County Tavern for lunch afterwards. And they've got the month of St. Patrick going on. With all their celebrations going on all this week. And also, of course, shout out Captain Marty, who's now at OuterBanksThisWeek.com, and you find his podcast. It's really cool getting those fishing reports just pop up on my phone all the time. So, all right, I got to grab the right mouse here. And, okay, so first off, if you haven't checked out the stuff we've been doing with Sam and Elm on the road. Which was a struggle with the latest edition. We did the Meet OBX. That has posted up. Got that up on the screen right now. Just some highlights from it. We'll just play it while we're talking. It's just us talking. It's the two of us. That's weird.
I'm
turning that off. Anyway, got that up right now. We talked about it last week some and just mentioned when the next one is, which is April the 9th. But if you haven't had a chance to watch, it's really, really cool what we got to do there. And then Toyota Towler, and also, and I gotta scroll down, so bear with me here because my brain has shut down. Toyota Towler and Amanda Lotus are who set up Meet OBX. Next one's on April 9th at Trio. But if you want to watch that right now, after you watch this show or listen to this show, you can find that on all our socials and on the Sam Walker OBX YouTube and at SamWalkerOBXNews.com. All right, Monday was ugly crying day for me. I'm not going to lie. Monday, wow. I don't know. The silly stuff that I can get choked up about.
Yeah, something people probably do need to know about you is you're actually a very sentimental person, and it doesn't take a whole lot to get you choked up over things that are close to your heart. So things like our kids, our family, different weird things that other people will be like, so it's a green car going by and you're bawling your eyes out. You are definitely very, very emotional. And So
two things happened within the span of a couple of hours on Monday, and did not know about this. I vaguely saw a post a couple of weeks ago on the Fork Union Military Academy social media that something about a Disney trip for the marching band. And it kind of went, and I think it was, we were in startup mode here, still in startup mode. So, and, you were getting ready for your trips. Anyway, it just kind of, I don't know, got by me. And it was like, why I didn't start obsessing over it until Sunday when I saw they were actually there. And that the marching band, which Jonathan was a part of when he was a student at Fork Union, he played the bagpipes. So he got out of having to do full drills for parades. Always, he's always hustling, always scheming. So they had the marching band has been at Walt Disney World all this week. Got there Sunday, staying at Coronado Springs.
Yes, I love Coronado Springs.
I know. And then, usually you get to go and then you march at some point in the afternoon, 3 o'clock parade. What time's the 3 o'clock parade?
I would assume 3 o'clock.
Trick question, dummy. Because you know how many people ask that question to cast members all the time? What time's the 3 o'clock parade?
Common sense is not so common these days.
It's not been. But anyway, usually they would march around 2:45 is usually when there's a band marching. Well, they don't just do right before that. They will do multiples during the day, and it never dawned on me. So they marched at 9:30 on Monday and got some highlights of this that showed up on the Fort Union Military Academy's marching band page. And for those of you who are listening, this is Fuma's band marching around the hub in front of Cinderella's Castle. They marched up Main Street. So they did the reverse of the current parade route. So they started at the fire station, coming out of those gates, up Main Street.
It's a pretty big band they actually have. They never had that big of a band when the boys were there.
No, it is. It is.
It's a big band.
Yeah.
And Paxton Powell was in the band too. Paxton was in the band.
Played saxophone there. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
James never went for the band.
Did the band thing. So
That's not James' cup of tea.
Anyway, so that was ugly crying moment number one. Now they've gotten sense to do. They're doing the Leadership Academy they have there.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so it's not just you go and march and then you go hang out in the park. They did do us open to close.
Oh.
That was, a shout out to them. That's Disney adults in training right there. So they did do okay. They did do that, but then they did, today being Wednesday, they did Leadership Academy today. So, I mean, it's a whole thing. I mean, there's, I didn't realize how much is involved backstage for the marching bands that come, just these programs that they have for them to come. So it's not just show up, march, and then go play at the parks. It's a whole thing, and it's kind of how they, I guess with some of the schools, you got to justify field trips some way and an educational opportunity.
Well, it's their spring break, I bet.
Yeah, it is, because college spring break is they always do college spring break. So they kind of timed it out so it's spring break at the same time. So anyway, so that was ugly crying moment number one. Then went down to Killable Hills in the afternoon for something that I don't think any of us ever imagined would happen. And I go back to what happened this summer when people spotted the UNC basketball bus on the beach. And then someone sent me a picture of the bus parked outside the new Pine Island Reserve houses by the Hampton Inn in Corolla. And I'm like, oh, you got to be kidding me. And it was UNC's basketball team. Now, that bus has been back several times since because Southern Coach Company owns it and actually uses it for other things besides the Carolina basketball team. So that was in the summer. Those guys come down here for hang out for a day. They did the clinic. They did a cool autograph session and all at the Dare Youth Center in Killable Hills the night before. Then they got to spend a couple of days in Corolla. So fast forward to, I think it was December, maybe November. And John Van Lunen, who's the head coach for the First Flight lacrosse team, we ran into each other at Harris Teeter in Kitty Hawk. And he's like, oh, by the way, Syracuse is coming down at spring break, and they're going to spend a week here, and they're going to practice at Meekins Field. I'm standing there in the aisle, like, mouth to the floor. You've got to be kidding me. Syracuse, lacrosse royalty, Jim Brown, who was probably a better lacrosse player than he was a football player, which, that says a lot. They had to change the rules of the game because of him, in fact, back in the 50s. I just totally floored. And again, kind of, oh, all right, yeah. And then, we get to March, and it's like, oh, wait a minute. Spring break, are they still coming? And and we were texting back and forth, a couple of us, and said, hey, they're here. And they are doing a clinic for the First Light middle school team on Monday. And I was like, oh, my gosh. So I found out that Syracuse had come to here after they played Johns Hopkins in Charlotte Saturday. They beat Johns Hopkins, who was ranked second at the time, and Syracuse ranked fourth. So, that's a pretty daggone big deal.
It's a long-ass drive on a bus.
From Syracuse, New York, to Charlotte. To here.
That's endurance, my friends.
Well, here's the thing, and I got a chance to talk to Gary frickin' Gate, who's one of the, again, we're talking, when we say lacrosse royalty, we're talking lacrosse royalty. This is Tom Brady level stuff of the sport. Gary Gate, who is just one of the greatest players of all time, went on to become a coach. He coached the women's team. Now he's coaching the men's team. So I got a chance to talk to him. and figured out what was going on. They played Charlotte on Saturday. They're playing in Chantilly, Virginia, up in Northern Virginia, this coming Saturday against Delaware. So their spring break. Now, the funny part about that was he said, don't tag us in any of your socials or anything. Syracuse is going through some budget issues, and them being on the Outer Banks is kind of like, it would look a little bad. So, but it's not like they paid for it. It's not like the school. They got it paid for. It's not, but it's the optics of it. Anyway, they ran a clinic for the First Light Middle School lacrosse team. And to think that's how our boys started before there was a middle school team. It's not really sanctioned by the middle school yet, but at the age group. So anyway, and there's Jordan Lane. If you're watching on Facebook and YouTube, right, there's Jordan Lane, who played lacrosse.
I was just going to say, so it's even more full circle.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, because Jordan was, and the boys played together.
They all started off together.
together.
Actually, Jordan had green stick.
That's right. He did have a green stick.
Jordan had the green stick.
Yeah.
I used to always say, Jordan, don't ever change your stick because I can follow you. You have a green stick. And
right.
he was a long pole, right? He was long pole green stick.
Yeah, that's right. He was.
And,
so Jordan is the coach now, and again he played at the Outer Banks Lacrosse Club.
And he's been a coach for a couple years. Jordan has taken on that team. I'm just so proud of Jordan. He's done such a great job. Like, he's just taken this passion. He's just become a new dad himself with a cute little girl. I think named Harper's his little girl's name.
Yes.
And Jordan's always just had a big heart, and he's athletic, and he's just a good guy. And so this to me, like, is just when I saw the video, I did tear up because I don't know. You saw him when they were in middle school.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that was on Monday. So that video's up now on all the socials and at Sam Walker, obxnews.com. I think I've got that up as a story now. I need to go back and look. But you'll find it on the Facebook and the YouTube. But anyway, that was pretty cool to get to see that these kids, I mean, you're talking about some of the best in the game. I mean, you go to Syracuse, play lacrosse. I mean, you're playing in what was called, whatever they're called now, in their dome. Mm-hmm. Before 25 to 30,000 people. Their games are on TV. Every game's on TV. Every game's on radio up there. Lacrosse is religion up in the upstate New York and with Syracuse. And those kids are here practicing all this week, but they took 2 hours out of their stay on the Outer Banks to go help out these kids. And Jordan, of course, he's got kids now. Most of the kids that are on the First Light varsity and JV, which they got 40-some kids now playing.
Which is great.
It's awesome. And Jordan's got I think he's got 26 for the middle school age team. Van Loonen's got the youth. He's got the in-house. They call it in-house. So Jordan's team has to play. The middle school team has to go up to Virginia every week to play. They don't get to play home games. That was one thing the boys were fortunate enough when they were playing, when Jordan and James and Jonathan were playing. They got at least play a couple of games down at Satterfield Landing in Nags Head. They're having to go up to the Virginia Beach Soccer Complex and play every weekend. They're also going and playing in the tournaments, which is such a great thing. But
remember the first tournament we went to in
Richmond
and Coach Andy, like literally our team, the Outer Banks team showed up like a ragtag bunch of kids and parents, and we were all new at the travel ball thing and everything. And then remember at one point none of our coaches had shoes on.
That's right.
They all showed up in flip flops, and then they kicked their shoes off and they're coaching. And anyway, I'm pretty sure we lost pretty badly because those teams. I remember what's that one team up there out of Richmond? HRC. What is that team?
It was out of Charlottesville, and it was ACAC.
ACAC.
Albemarle County Athletic Club, which was a gym. It's a gym. It's a workout place.
But that team comes on the field like they're like marching 2 by 2, and they got their knees up, and they are passing it all. And our kids are like walking on. They don't know what the hell they're doing.
Their dads played for UVA.
Yeah,
that type of stuff. So,
and we were like, "Oh, this is not going to go." But we still had a great time. And that's where the Richmond bag was invented. That weekend?
The Richmond bag was invented that weekend.
The Walkers. Being chunky, there was always a little bit of friction between the legs.
There's a lot of friction going on. And Jonathan was notorious for it. I was for a long time, still am. We have the Richmond bag, it was a bag from that tournament, those cinch bags from that tournament. that we put Desitin in,
Powder.
and now it's called the monkey butt. That's the best stuff ever invented. It would
I
have
think some Band-Aids.
Band-Aids, tape, Neosporin, whatever you could think of, first aid stuff. And the Richmond bag goes everywhere. And there's variations on the Richmond bag. Now, I think right now the Richmond bag is from Shamrock 2 years ago.
I mean, Brady Cahill will be like, "Do y'all have the Richmond bag?" I mean, it's not just everyone knew the Walkers
everybody
had the
knows
Richmond bag,
the
and
Richmond bag.
it was really for chafing.
It is
Chafing
100% for chafing. And so the Richmond bag goes to me when I'm doing tournaments. You got to have it because invariably, you got to have the liquid Band-Aid for blisters. They said, don't pop a blister. No, you pop that sucker, slap that liquid bandage on it, burn your feet. It literally feels like someone stuck a knife in your feet. And then, put a new fresh pair of socks on and get back on the field. You got 10 minutes between games.
Yeah,
but
lots and lots of memories with friends, the kids, everything. Lacrosse was big in the water. It was a big part of our life for a while.
That's what's made the sport is such a big part of our life because of things like that right there. And our efforts to try and grow the game further beyond the success now that we've had on the beach, trying to get it over here on the mainland. We're in that vacuum, and we had a possibility, and it just kind of fell apart. We just got to get a youth program going. So anyway, that's just some of the shout-outs, a little extended shout-out segment here on the Sam and let's do it again. On the Sam
and M
podcast. All right, and the Sam and M podcast is brought to you by StatelinePowerwash.com because the .com is important. Locally owned and operated by Parker and Smith Hammer. They grew up right here in Currituck. Pressure washing, soft washing, painting, concrete floor, sealing, so much more. They use local staff, so you're keeping it local with State Line Power Wash. They're looking for staff, too, for the season, so give them a shout at StatelinePowerwash.com. March Madness Special. What is that, you ask? Get in on their March Madness Special right now. It's a free gutter cleaning when you get your house and roof soft wash. It's only available right now this month during March Madness from StatelinePowerwash.com. Hey, if you're looking to buy or sell a home or land, hit up Smith Hammer at Kingdom Real Estate Services. List your home with Smith. Get a free house wash, roof wash, and a deck cleanup from State Line Power Wash. Ready to freshen up that outside or inside of your home? State Line Power Wash will get you covered. Painting and staining services that brightens the look of your primary home, the home that's going on the market, and your vacation rental. Everybody's getting those suckers opened up left and right. Still time to get in on that, but you better hurry. Over 145-star reviews on Google. Whether you have whatever you have State Line Power Wash do for you, it's going to be top notch. From Moyock to Manio, Edenton to Duck, schedule now with State Line Power Wash at StatelinePowerwash.com and get a free gutter cleaning March Madness right now. Do it now before the end of March. StatelinePowerwash.com or call 252-421-3775 for your free estimate. I screwed up the bumper there. All right, it is the Sam and M podcast, and we've been kind of, I don't know, I was surprised we went that long with the shout-outs and the lacrosse and all that stuff, and me ugly crying all week, or Monday anyway. So you've got a lot of green ink on that paper. I'm scared to know what do you got there we're going to talk about.
Well, March is Women's History Month.
That is true.
And so I thought it'd be interesting for you and I to discuss strong women in our lives who we both were raised by strong women.
Oh, yeah.
And their impact. And I just wrote down some notes of people that that were women in my personal life. But
right.
I'm also I'm an avid history person. Like, I love books. I love learning history. And so I just wrote down some notes of some women in history that I love. And anyway, so
get on it.
So strong women who shaped me. My mom, first of all. I mean, anyone who knows Janice knows she's pretty strong.
Right.
So and I think she always I learned from her a lot. But I also learned that you always look out for the little people. Like I just learned from my mom that there's always going to be somebody that's not maybe as well off as you, and you fight for them as much as you would fight for yourself.
Right.
So I think that's one of the strongest things I learned from my mother. And your mom taught me a lot. Your mom taught me to always make sure I had cash in my wallet. I never really had thought about that. She said, Emily, you should always have $100 in your wallet, which I never do.
Yeah, right.
But she also told me never to let you open my mail. It was very important that I opened my own mail. Just little things I learned from your mom, like through the years.
Don't think we follow that because you don't want to see the mail.
I don't want to see it.
You don't ever want to see it. I'm the
I'm
one
like, is it bad?
Yeah, it's bad.
But your mom, I mean, she was a county commissioner
Mom
I met her.
Yeah, so Mom was the first woman county commissioner in Currituck County history, 1984 to 1992. Council of Women, so statewide. She was third vice president of the North Carolina County Commissioners Association in 1991. Needless to say, yes, that is one of the role models of my life. She was a better fisherman than Dad was, I think, at times. There's this photo of us with me holding this big flounder. I think she caught it out there on the beach somewhere. So yeah, there's that.
So there's that time that we went fishing, the three of us.
Yes, to Kitty Hawk Pier before it became what it is today. But yeah,
I do not like fishing. It's not my thing. I don't have the patience for it. I had taken a book and was just going to sit out in the car, and his mom was like, "No, come on, everyone." Yeah. And we get out there, and y'all, it was like the pier was like geriatric highway. I mean, we were
still call it that.
I do, because I mean, it was over 70 day or something. Well, your mom wasn't 70, but it was lined up both sides of the pier, and everyone's pulling in their rods.
We had a big spot run going. Yes,
everyone's pulling in 2 and 3 fish at a time. I mean, everybody except for one person, and that would have been me. And I was like, that's it, I'm done. Like when I finally had seen like the 90-year-old lady beside me pull up like her 10th fish, I was like, I'm out of here. I am going to sit in the car.
Yep.
But you and your mom, you had the best day. You guys, it was rainy too, I think. It was like misty or something.
It was kind of cool, and it wasn't.
But your mom, and she had big dinner parties. She always you go to the grocery store and there would be political conversation, and your dad too. But I mean, your mom. This is about women today, so this is nothing anti-men. Yeah. Please take that. Don't take it that way.
Right.
But your mom really, and I hear people say, "Oh, Francis, the women's club. I'm in the women's club," and what your mom did with the women's club, and she'd put women in a car and be like, "We're going to this, we're doing this," and I think I think both of our moms are pretty strong, independent women.
I'll throw this out there too. I mean, what year it was? So 78, 79. I'm trying to think when the Equal Rights Amendment was going on, and there was a rally in Raleigh on the state capitol, and there's somewhere a photo that was in the News and Observer of me and like 2 other kids sitting on top of one of the statues. And this does not bode well in my North Carolina knowledge. I should know which statue it was. It's the one with the horse that's on the west side, on the Hillsborough Street side of the Capitol.
Mm-hmm.
But I may have that.
I don't know. You lost me. You said
that.
West. I mean, hello.
Okay.
Is it near Krispy Kreme or not? I mean, I don't know.
It's near Campbell's Law School. It's no. So if it was a Krispy Kreme, it'd be like catty corner to where the Krispy Kreme is. Anyway, there's a picture from that. But yeah, that's yes. By all means, my mom pretty damn strong. So, yeah.
So and so then there's my grandmother, my grandma Jane, who raised 6 children, and that in and of itself is a huge feat.
Yeah.
But
I won't say, but especially those 6 kids. I can imagine what that house was like. As crazy as our house was with 3.
Yeah.
Double that?
Yes.
And with the age ranges that were going on there, I guess that thing's a little different, but yeah.
I think 16 years between Dad and Aunt Debbie.
Gosh.
But Grandma Jane was always like, I just always had a very good relationship with Grandma Jane, but she had a huge impact on my life in the sense that I wanted to make chocolate chip cookies like Grandma Jane. I wanted my kids to always want to come home and bring their friends home. Right. And she gave me that sense of a strong woman runs a home just as well and creates that.
Yeah. Right.
She was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Lord have mercy.
No.
So then real quick, then I got to thinking about like teachers in my life, and it's really weird because
Well,
like
let's stop, because you're Emily Jane
I am
and Harper Jane.
and she was Mary Jane, but we
Mary
called her
Jane.
Grandma Jane.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
she was Mary Jane.
Right. So anyway, there's that little
Yeah.
connection.
So
yeah.
yes. But teachers, now I know I had in middle school and high school, I know I had phenomenal teachers, so I don't mean to leave any of them out, but I swear to you, when I think of teachers and an impact, I think of Miss Varner in kindergarten. I think of Mrs. Gamble in first grade. Of course, that's the year my dad died, and Miss Gamble really, I think Miss Gamble really took good care of me. And then Cass Gowans in fifth grade. I was so excited to get her, and she was a phenomenal teacher. But she also, all of them just kind of were women who, I don't know, they just instilled in me that strong women are important, and you have a say so, and you can stand up for yourself and other people, and I don't know, you can make a difference. So I don't know, and I'm surrounded. I look at my friends, I look at my acquaintances, I look at people, and I have chosen in my life, whether it be rationally or with knowledge or without knowledge, I have nothing but strong women around me.
Yeah.
And they all have, I will say they all have husbands who support strong women and encourage them. And, you know, I think that just says a lot. So anyway, and I hope that I have raised Caroline to be a strong woman. I think I have.
Yeah.
But you and I have raised her,
Yeah.
not just me. But those are just the women in my life, you know, even meeting people like Tess Judge and Linda Willie and people like that, who I just hope one day to be just as amazing as they are, and what they do and the impact they have on the community, the church. I mean, Tess has effect on the community. Tess has effect on the church community. I mean, you can, I don't know, that just is something that and it's not always big and loud. It can be quiet too.
Right. Yeah, it's gosh knows if I go through, I'm going to leave out so many names, so I don't want to get that. But there's two that probably had the most influence. Linda Wood, she was Linda Riggs at the time, but Linda Wood, who was our AG teacher in Currituck, right on from our elementary school. Her daughter Tiffany Riggs, that we were in the same class together, and you know that whole crew that. You know, Jenny Faison and
shout out to Jenny Faison, who got engaged in Paris.
Was it her that got engaged, or was somebody that she was doing the shoot with?
Oh,
Are you sure?
It was her.
I looked that up. It was
Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah. Well, no, I'll look it up here. But anyway, there's that whole crew, and Jennifer Carey, and so many different ones. And gosh knows, I just went through three. I mean, there's a couple of strong women right there. I mean,
very strong women.
Very strong. Yes.
In a good way, not
in a good
bad
way.
Very
in a good way.
Yes.
I wouldn't have said that 35 years ago, but and they all know that. But Linda Wood, who was our teacher, taught our English in middle school, but she was our AD teacher. Of course, probably again, she was the one who organized all those trips that we got to take as AG students in 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. So thank you for the Disney addiction. Terry Godfrey. Yes.
An amazing. Yes.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yes. Miss Godfrey. I can use first names at this point, I think, but Miss Godfrey and Mr. Godfrey, Coach Godfrey. She was my 5th grade science teacher. Right? Well, anyway, she was the elementary school teacher, and then to have her as principal for our kids when they were in elementary school, first at Knapp and then Shawboro. Really, really an amazing educator, amazing administrator. But there were so many different. All right, so it was? Okay, I got it wrong. I don't know why I thought.
Oh, wait, can we repeat that sentence?
Emily got it right.
Sam got it wrong.
Okay, hold on. We'll finish that, because now we're going to have to do a shout out there, because we got to figure out where that was. Gosh knows, there's so many different ones, just teachers you talk about. Do we want to mention our, where do you want to go? Toyota? I mean, I'm going to have to,
that's what actually got me thinking.
That's what
about
got me
that.
thinking. So if you go on SamWalkerOBXnews.com right now, actually, we again recording on Wednesday, just posted this before we did the taping. Taylor Towler, who is a life coach. Taylor and I have known each other for well over a decade now. And Taylor was a writer. That's how we got connected when I was at the Outer Banks Voice. And then through various other ways and means, and stayed in contact. Taylor went into this life coaching, and out of the blue, the first week after we launched, reached out and said, "Hey, want to get together for coffee?" And didn't realize at the time what I was walking into. I thought it was, I really didn't realize what Taylor was doing until that day. And Taylor's a life coach, and Taylor's helped carry me through this whole journey of the last 2.5, almost 3 months. Gosh knows, 2.5 months. And really kept me. I wrote about it. I wrote about it in the story. It's easier for me to say because if I try to say what I wrote last night, I will not say it right, and I just want to make sure I say it right. Just because, anyway.
I'll say this
Okay,
from the other side.
You say it.
We've been transparent. Like we just didn't see 2023 ending in the way it did for you from your career standpoint,
Right.
which is fine. It was fine, but you went through like a real I just have never seen you question yourself or question your ability, question what you're doing with you. Like it was hard to watch as your wife, as your partner. It was hard to watch. And Toyota stepped in and she said no, which I have said for decades. You do have an impact. You are worthwhile. And I don't mean this, I'm not trying to be lighthearted when I say this, but you do have an impact. You do make people's lives different. People look to you for information, and you're going to continue doing what you're doing, but you're going to do it on your own. And you just were you just didn't think you could do it. We've never done this before.
No.
And she stepped in and she's worked with you once a week. You've set aside time. She's giving you assignments. She's given us assignments. I only met her for the first time at the meet and greet, but I feel like I owe her so much because to watch you grow has been a really cool, to watch Sam Walker OBX News grow has been really cool. And to see the people coming to you and saying, hey, this is what we want to invest in. This is what we want to listen to. All those things, even when that was happening at the very beginning with the Smith and Parker, the first week, you're just like, oh, it's a fluke. Yeah. And then the next, oh, it's just a fluke. Right. But I think that she has given you some skills. She's giving you guidance. I mean, she's pretty freaking amazing. Yeah. And I don't know that you would have. I'm not saying we wouldn't be where we are. You wouldn't be where you are right now, but she has helped fine tune it, hone in on it, make you realize your worth. And you still have a ways to go, but I think the world of her, and I think what she has done for you is amazing. So thank you.
Yeah. So TeutaTowler.com, TeutaTowler.com. If you go to SamWalkerOBXNews.com, you will see story there. She is offering for Women's History Month 50% off her services for women. She will do a free 30-minute call. It's online or in person here on the Outer Banks, but she does online. This isn't something, if you're listening to us wherever you are around the country, around the world, she will do this for anybody because, I mean, that's how we do it. We do it through Zoom. It's really actually cool. Right. But we do, we see each other time to time. We see each other now with the Meet OBX group. But it's a limited time offer, 12 months of one-on-one coaching for half price. That's offer is for women only and expires on March 31st. But men, anybody, no matter what your gender is, Toyota has been a huge asset, has been a huge, I wrote it in the story saying she's helped me avoid a lot of pitfalls with starting with a startup. And a lot of that's because she experienced it doing startup. It's a marketing agency, as a reporter with a marketing agency. She's public speaking. That's the other thing she's doing. Right. It's her backstory, and if you go on her website at TeutaTowler.com, her backstory is amazing.
So, and she's a strong woman.
She survived the war in the Balkans.
Yes.
Which is unbelievable. Her story, and we haven't gone in a lot of detail about that with personally talking about it. Right. So anyway, Teeter Towler, TEUTATOWLER.com. Can't say enough. Hit her up. It really has been life altering, but it has really helped me stay focused on not only being a reporter, the videographer now, the podcast producer, all that, but also the entrepreneurial side. That has really grown.
Yeah.
And, and she's told me about some of the clients she's works with that are, looking and it's goal setting. And the one thing she has, and we'll wrap it up with this. I don't know if we'll wrap it up as far as this part goes. It's always grateful, never satisfied. It's one of the things about going into this whole journey that we've gone on in the last 2.5 months is, man, the one scary thing that's always been in my mind is having to go to people and sell this thing to make it pay for itself. Mm-hmm. And, I always say, every time someone has complimented, I got it today. Every time I go somewhere, I get the compliments, and it's so. And you know what? I'll take the criticism too. I'm hearing all the positive. I need to hear some negative every now and then. Somebody tell
Don't
me,
worry,
hey,
guys. I'll give it to them.
Yeah, you do.
I got no problem.
Right. Always grateful. I can never say it, and I always feel like I'm not being genuine enough when I say it, but I try to say, look, it's not about me. It's about just the information. It's getting the information. This isn't about me. Yeah, my name is on it now. And a lot of that's because of Emily. Strong woman. I mean, we haven't even talked about a strong woman. Dr. Emily Walker. And I'll say that to my dying breath. Dr. Walker. Was one who said, no, it needs to be you. It's all about you. It's always, we always joke about it's always about me. But it definitely needed to be all about you. It's all about me.
No,
doing
and
this.
I got that quote wrong last podcast. It was Bette Midler in Beaches.
Oh.
And she says, enough about me. Let's talk about you. What do you think about me? I got the quote mixed up.
That is the quote.
Enough about
That's
me.
perfect.
Let's talk about you. What do you think about me?
Okay. And before we take a break, yes, you are correct. Jenny Faison got engaged
in Paris with the Eiffel Tower lit.
Not just in Paris, on one of the bridges.
I know, with the Eiffel Tower
over
behind
the
her.
Seine.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
I'm so excited for her. But before we go, I do want to just talk. Can I just do a little bit more about strong women?
Yes.
So when I was growing up, I absolutely loved Helen Keller. Nobody better joke at me. And Dina Askew, one day I'm going to get to the Helen Keller festival. I think it's in Alabama.
Right.
But anyway, and I couldn't get enough books about Helen Keller. And Donna Aubin, the librarian at the elementary school, she was amazing. She knew what kids liked. She knew how to get them. So anyway, she was always getting me Helen Keller books. But then the boys like to tease me about Helen Keller, and they'd be gosh. Helen Keller would eat the snow the dogs peed on because she couldn't see it. Like, they just said stupid jokes, and I would come home sobbing because they made fun of Helen Keller. But like Helen Keller, Anne Sullivan, like those people, like those women, like I was like, they're amazing. I want to be like them.
Right.
I'm really into Marie Benedict is an author, and she picks women in history who are kind of obscure, but they had a huge impact on history. So she did this one book. It was called The Only Woman in the Room, and it was about Hedy Lamarr, who was actually from...
I won't do it. I can't. I'm trying not to do it.
Don't ruin my strong women.
I'm not. It's Headley. No.
You're trying to correct me.
That's a Blazing Saddles joke.
Oh.
Go on. Her name was Hedy Lamarr, and Harvey Korman's character was Headley Lamarr, and there was a whole thing. Mel Brooks, Hedy threatened to sue him for doing that. So.
Well, Hedy Lamarr was actually from Australia. She was Jewish, and came to the States, was in movies and stuff. But what she really did was she helped create the system, the tracking systems for torpedoes.
Right.
She worked. She is the radio guidance.
Yes.
For torpedo systems in the war. There's The Personal Librarian is another book of hers that's about the personal librarian of, oh my gosh, why can't I think of it? 1900, turn of the century. all the wealthy people had their own. Rockefeller.
I was going to say Rockefeller.
Rockefeller's librarian.
Okay.
And she actually, until she died, and when Rockefeller died, he left her $50,000. She was his personal librarian. She literally, as a woman in the 1915, 1930, somewhere in there, she was going around Europe. She was going around the world buying pieces. And when they say a library, it's not just the books.
Right. Yeah.
It's artwork. It's statues. I mean, it was amazing. Built the library. His personal librarian, she was actually black, but she passed as white, and nobody knew it until after she died.
Wow.
It was an amazing. So again, but she had a huge impact on the world, and at what she went and she negotiated in these auctions and stuff. So, and I love World War II. There's always women saving, and men too. So again, this is about Women's Month, but but I came across this thing, and I really want to read it real quick, because those are all women on the big stage. The world stage who've had an impact. But I read this today about Miss Katie M. Hart of Hertford County, North Carolina. Katie Hart was a teacher supervisor in 1931 when she started the small library for African Americans in Hertford County. She was an African American woman. In 1938, she began a bookmobile service noted in some sources to be the first in the United States. To be owned by an African American. Her bookmobile served Hertford and Gates counties, and her books were available to all people. The Hertford County Colored Public Library ran from 1938 to 1969. It was the only library for African Americans in northeastern North Carolina during the Jim Crow era. Wow. Katie retired in 1969 when her library merged with the Albemarle Regional Library. So that really struck me. Like, here it is, our little part of the world. Yeah. This one teacher, African American, I'm sure just even getting books together. I cannot imagine the process that she went through. Right. And the impact that she had and how that legacy carries on. It just got me to thinking that whether you're a woman or man, you can do something very simple or something very big, but you can have an impact. Right. On so many people's lives and people's lives beyond where we are today. So I don't know. I just think I wanted to give a shout out to all the strong women out there. Yeah. I don't think there's weak women. I think if we can get up and go every day, and whether we have children, don't have children, right. I don't know. I just wanted women to know that I think you're all pretty amazing, and you can do one small thing or lots of small things or big gestures. And we can, excuse my language, we can get shit done. All right. Yeah. So anyway, that's my women.
And now we have to put thanks a lot, because now I have to do a whole bunch of work. I appreciate that.
Why?
Oh, you don't know, do you? Oh, yeah, thanks.
What?
Do we want to edit that or not?
Do you have to edit because I said the S word?
Yeah. Actually, I have to mark it as explicit now on the podcast upload.
Well, maybe that'll get us more.
Maybe get more. I know, or less. I don't know, but okay. Yeah, I didn't know we were going to go that direction tonight. Holy cow! I'll try not to.
I didn't know.
Oh man, there's the social clip right there. Okay, let me catch my breath now. The show, the Sam and formerly M podcast. is brought to you by Miles Carpet Cleaning. Winter doldrums, well, they're finally going to be gone here in a week. Well, those dingy carpets, they're looking doldrumly. Is that a word?
I have no idea.
Okay, or furniture. Yeah, the furniture, it's all looking nasty, and you got to get it cleaned up. As much rain as we had, and everybody's tracked all the mud in the house, get it cleaned up. Yes, that spring cleaning time is here. Miles Carpet Cleaning will get those carpets, rugs, upholstery, even the vehicle interiors looking and smelling like new. Serving Currituck, the Outer Banks, Miles Carpet Cleaning family has been cleaning things up on both sides of the water for nearly a decade. Their $99 special can't be beat. It's 3 rooms and a hallway clean to perfection. They throw in the orange scent carpet deodorizer and Scotch Guard too for just $99. Book it now. The spring rush is here. You got to get in now because they're packing folks in. 252-207-6707. Last week I butchered the phone number, so I want to make sure I get it right. 252 207-6707. Find more great offers by following Miles Carpet Cleaning on Facebook. Robert Miles and his family will take care of you like you're one of the family. Forget the rest. Call the best. Miles Carpet Cleaning at 252-207-6707. It's right there on the screen, dummy. You can read it. 252-207-6707. And the Sam and M podcast is brought to you by CMIT. When it comes to managing your business, it's important to have the right technology. That's why CMIT works to help businesses. Short for Completely Managed Information Technology, CMIT offers everything a business needs. Their services include tech support, computer and server security, cloud backup, secure Wi-Fi, business phones, and more. With CMIT's help, your technology will stay up and running. For more information, go to CMITOBX.com. It's March, so I can play that and not get in trouble since they don't use that theme anymore, which is a shame. I don't like the variation CBS has now. All right, where do we want to go? Because we are coming up on 60 minutes here. We do have to get one more sponsor in, too. Do we talk about the TV stuff? It is the show recording Wednesday, dropping Thursday evening. You don't have to work Friday, 9 o'clock Eastern on the Disney Plus. It is the Eras Tour. It is coming out on Disney Plus. Yes, Tay-Tay is going to be on the Disney Plus.
So I might make you stay up and watch.
Crash the servers. We'll see. It's really going to test their servers. Yes, yeah, because Carolina plays at noon tomorrow, so that takes care of that.
Speaking of which, on our 13th episode, I may have to wear my Eras
yeah, you have to wear
movie
your
concert.
You're gonna have to wear. Gosh. All right, 2 weeks from now?
My sequence.
Do I get to wear the tux that I have next week?
Maybe we might have to dress all up for it.
Dress up too. I'll get the tux.
13.
I did get the tux. I got to go get pants because the pants were too long, too big, too long. Waist wise, I didn't feel like getting them hemmed. So all right, so Eras Tours on Disney Plus. Let's see here.
We did watch the Oscars the other night.
Yeah, we did watch the Oscars the other night. That's been appointment television for us for quite a while. We made it through without you falling asleep for the first time in years.
Well, they did start at 7.
They started an hour earlier. But the other key to that was what?
You made us watch it downstairs.
Yeah, which was actually
it wasn't that bad.
Nice. Because you're not prone to fall asleep. Because there's one thing that happens. We will start watching stuff in the evening, and Emily will be out usually by halfway through an episode. And I will sit there and finish watching the episode and then stay up for 3 hours because I want to because of some of the things that we watch, I end up going down rabbit holes for the different, the backstories or videos related to it, the making of and all that stuff.
And then as soon as you fall asleep at 1 a.m, I'm up at 2 a.m. So, I mean, there's no good sleep pattern at our house. There is no good sleep pattern. But yeah, so no, we watched the Oscars and I thought they were very good. I loved them. I cried some.
There were some ugly tears in the open. Yeah, the couple first ones. I will say that I like how they had previous winners of the acting categories do the intro or do their like a personal statement to the this year's nominees. I like that a lot.
I liked it a lot too.
But it was kind of I don't know. It seemed like some of them were more not so heartfelt, maybe.
I think some of them, though, have personal relationships.
Yeah, that's the cool thing. Some of them had really true personal relationships with each other. And so they had a lot of shared experiences, shared gigs that they've done together. Me, I know, trying to figure out everything that's going on behind the scenes. You could see when they were looking at the prompter back in the back, which I don't blame them because I wouldn't want to try to do what they did without a prompter, honestly. I can't do this show without a prompter, so I need one. I need one when I'm doing a lot of stuff.
I thought it was good, though.
But it was. It was. I don't know why people complain about the death reel this year. I thought that In Memoriam was pretty solid. I mean, I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, I didn't.
Yeah.
I mean, I
Although
don't have an opinion of it one way. I mean, I think it's good they put it up there, but I
Yeah.
don't have like compared to last year, it was better. I
Well,
don't have any of
there's
that.
the whole thing. A lot of times they left people out. Why'd they leave this person out? I thought they did a good job with with the executives and things like that with how they laid it out there. You had Richard Lewis, who passed away live the week before, had him in there. You had gosh, I'm just totally blanked out. Who sang during it with
Ken?
No, the father and son. No, I'm talking about during the in memoriam. Okay, yeah, we'll move on to that. The Ken performance
Was amazing.
Was pretty good. And you totally missed that it was the material.
I knew it was material. I mean, I got it. I got it.
Wait, let me finish. That you totally missed in the beginning. I thought you did. That it was a play on the Material Girl video.
Yes.
Okay, so you did know that one, even though I pointed it out to you.
No, I knew it after you pointed out. Remember, I again did not have Material Girl video.
You didn't have MTV. That's
I didn't
true.
have MTV growing up, so I don't know that I've ever
Poor
seen.
deprived child.
I don't know that I've ever seen that
The Material
video.
Girl.
Yes.
What?
I don't think I've seen it.
Seriously? Holy cow. All right.
Pleasant View Road did not
Didn't have cable. That's true. It wasn't like your mom didn't want cable. Y'all just didn't have it on that
We
road.
did not have it. So
No, Currituck had something before Ohio. How about that?
But no, and of course we even watched the red carpet. I was making my popcorn and we were doing all that. So I don't know. It was a good date night. It was good.
It was.
And I thought the red carpet was wonderful.
Yep.
Poor Emma Stone, her dress. They literally
The
sewed her back.
The zipper busted on her.
But they literally sewed her back in, like right backstage. So,
Right.
And she gave a very heartfelt.
I will say this. David Allen Greer struggled as the announcer. He was the announcer for it.
Mm-hmm.
They had Randy Thomas, who at one time when I was doing Mix 96, she was our station voice, and she's done many Oscars. She's done a lot of the award shows, Tonys. She's done all 4, in fact. I think she's got an EGOT as an announcer. And she's, if you're wondering who I'm talking about, if you listen to, she used to be the voice of 2WD. She's a very well-known voice announcer. Radio station, voice of a radio stations, TV, like I said. I didn't think David Allen Greer had struggled, I thought. Now, granted, it didn't help ABC's audio mix kind of stunk. I did like that the orchestra was in the building instead of like the one time they did it, they were in another location in L.A. They weren't even in the building. That was pretty cool how they had them above. Instead of an orchestra pit, they had them up. All right, sorry, I'm getting down the tech stuff that I like to talk about. That's the stuff that interests me. It's not just about the show. It's about the show of the show. I mean, it's like me watching the ACC tournament, and I'm not looking at what's going on the court. Holy cow, State's up by 20? Wow. I'm looking at everything behind. I'm trying to see where all my friends are sitting on press row. So I can point out like Brett Friedlander is wearing his pineapple Hawaiian shirt today. Or this, that, and the other. Some of the changes are they got $30 vouchers for concession food instead of having a sit-down meal for lunch.
Okay.
All right, back to the. Okay, anyway, so the Oscars. We watch the Oscars. We love the Oscars. That's our date night. We have various date nights, but that is although it used to be in February. Remember, it was always the week after Super Bowl. Now it's in March this year. Part of that was the actors stuff because of the strike. Some of that had to do with the strike, so that they needed more time in the nomination. But they've kind of spread it out, and a lot of it's TV based too. So anyway, all right. We need to thank. We need to be talking photography right now. We'd be thanking Stephanie Harlow and Harlow Photography because she, of course, is one of our great sponsors here on the Sam & M podcast. If you want an unforgettable photography experience tailored to all of your desires, I like how she put in the Taylor thing because her daughter's name is Taylor. Yes. Then Harlow Photography is exactly who you've been looking for. Whether it's,
She's also a Taylor fan and a big Kansas City
Chiefs
fan.
She
long
is.
before.
Well, long before. Yeah, long before. Yeah, they her and John are both huge Chiefs fans. Whether it's the magic of engagements and weddings, the glow of maternity, the innocence of newborns, milestones of a first birthday, graduation, school events, military homecomings and retirements, or the oceanfront or Soundside family portrait session to cap another memorable Outer Banks vacation, Harlow Photography ensures every moment will be one you can cherish forever. Stephanie Harlow is your local natural light expert that captures the beauty of the Outer Banks and northeastern North Carolina. See Stephanie's portfolio and book your session today. Spring and summer sessions are filling up fast. sharlowphotography.com and like Stephanie Harlow Photos on Facebook. Let Harlow Photography preserve your memories in stunning natural light. I did not bring my water in here, and I am a little struggling right now, so it's a good thing the show is about to end. Bear with me on the pollinating coughing, too. So, all right, some of the stuff we got at samwalkerobxnews.com and things that are going on. Saturday night is the Whiteout Party.
Yep, be all about. I'm getting spray tan on Friday, and
Is it just you?
No, there's 4 or 5 of us.
What time? Oh, I won't be here anyway. Doesn't matter.
I know you'll be gone.
I gotta go ref. All right, yeah. So I won't even be here. I've got to find a pair of pants that fit because all my pants. I could wear my officiating pants. That would work. They're black. They just wouldn't work right with the tux.
No, they would not.
All right. So tomorrow I got to drive to Jeanette's. Yeah, I'm at Jeanette's Pier. No, I'm at the Ramada. The Ramada in the morning, and then I'm probably going to have to go north tomorrow because I don't want to have to try and hunt down these pants on Friday before the game.
All right.
All right. Project Glam Girl, speaking of... Well, no, I'm not doing that. Project Glam Girls and Guys is this week, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. This is the free prom attire that Quinn Capps has done every year down in Manio, and it's available to any student who needs attire for prom season.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So that is this weekend. Lost Colony Tavern, we mentioned them earlier. They got the month-long Festival of St. Patrick, so you can celebrate every Saturday in March. Live band, the O Brothers, our buddy Doug Dino, among others. Traditional Irish cuisine dominates the menu, and you will not find green beer because green beer is not an Ireland thing. You're going to find real beer, very good beer, at Lost Colony Tavern, downtown Manio. Theater Dare, The Drowsy Chaperone wraps up this weekend. The farcical 1920s comedy in a musical at Theater Dare in Kitty Hawk. Check theaterofdareobx.com. Make sure it's the Old English spelling, too, with the R-E, for tickets. Because tickets, usually for the Sunday matinee, I was always sold out. So check, see if they got tickets left for that. Disney's The Little Mermaid, Cosplayers production at COA. That is next week. Wednesday and Thursday, 10 a.m. Friday at 10 a.m. and 7 p.m. Saturday, the 23rd, 2 p.m. and 7 p.m. And Sunday, the 24th at 2 p.m. Link to the ticket info at samwalkerobxnews.com. The Outer Banks Health Development Council, their first formal gala since the pandemic, is on the 23rd. It is at Duckwoods Country Club, painting the Outer Banks blue. Now, tickets and sponsor tables are sold out. But they've set up this thing. It's a late night gala. Starts at 9:30 to midnight. So the regular gala is 6 to 9:30. But if you want to do the late night thing, because it's like second shift for those that don't want to hang out, I believe it's 125. Plus, they're doing a raffle for a 5-night stay in Costa Rica. All expenses paid. All expenses, flight, everything's included, and tickets for that. But I've got that up at WOB. I almost went through all the websites that I used to work for. SamWalkerOBXNews.com. And we talked about, of course, Toyota Towler, Amanda Lotus with Meet OBX. Usually it's the first Tuesday of the month. In April, it's going to be the second Tuesday of the month, April 9th, at Trio in Kitty Hawk. And as we said, we got the this weekend for us. Saturday is the Whiteout Party. I was going to run the Rock and Roll Half Marathon in Washington and decided, even though I keep getting the emails saying, oh, this and that, I'm not running it because we got the game. I wanted to make sure I was here for the Whiteout Party.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I do.
I'm looking forward to it. I am looking forward to it. I think I'm looking forward to it more because I'm going to try to pull off the James Bond look from Diamonds Are Forever, but also because the transformation. A year ago, this week is when I started this journey of losing 70 pounds.
Yes.
And would have gone to that event a year ago, blowed up. Not, having a shirt tail that wouldn't stay in and just looking schlubby as I had gotten. And now it's like, dude, I can't wait. Just because we're going to have fun. Not just fun. So, All right. Thanks, everybody, for listening. Anything else you need to get in there that I left out or anything?
No, I don't think so.
You sure?
Did you get the plant sale?
Currituck FFA plant sale, April 12th and 13th. Mark your calendar. At Currituck behind Currituck Middle School in the FFA greenhouses, April 12th and 13th, Friday afternoon and Saturday morning. And you want to get there early because stuff goes fast. The good stuff goes fast. And the 35th annual Outrageous Kids Arts Festival is now going to be held on Saturday, May 11th at Dowdy Park in Nags Head. That's a cool. You know what? We need to put that on the calendar. We need to see if we can make that because that would be a cool Sam and M on the road. All right, so Sam and M on the road is, again, Meet OBX this week. It's going to be the gal. It's going to be whiteout. It'll be a whiteout party for next week. Is that okay?
Good.
Okay.
Yeah.
We got that for you at SamWalkerOBXNews.com. Got the video from that, and, of course, the Syracuse Lacrosse Clinic with the Outer Banks Lacrosse Club with the First Light Middle School lacrosse team. We got that up for you. So much stuff at SamWalkerOBXNews.com. All right?
Y'all have a good week.
Yes. And here I thought we were going to struggle to get 30 minutes, and we did an hour 10. And I am not editing this thing.
We'll be lucky if people listen the whole time.
I am not editing this show. So, even though you have made more work for me now, thanks a lot. Wasn't expecting that I was going to get a delay. I'm going to start shopping for those.
Strong women don't apologize for strong words.
There's the show title. Write it down so I don't forget it. Strong women. So what does it say? Strong women don't apologize for strong words. That's the title of the show. Thank you very much. And it's you and as your head on Rosie the Riveter's body. That's gonna be the thumbnail. All right, it is the Sam and M podcast. It is brought to you by StatelinePowerWash.com, Miles Carpet Cleaning, and Harlow Photography, and CMIT Solutions, the Outer Banks. Like, follow, subscribe, hit the bell, share your favorite podcast app. That's where you find us. YouTube, Facebook, 5 stars. Interact with us and give us your thoughts, topics for future episodes. DM us on the social medias. SamWalkerOBXNews@gmail.com. That's the email. All that and more. Thank you again for joining us and dealing with this moron and this beautiful woman every week here on
beautiful.
the Sam
and M
podcast. See you next
bye.
time.